Hello, everyone. It's William here at Allegory Gallery, covered in tape, apparently. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing great out there. Thank you for joining us today. Marianne's here, says it's still raining, or heavy rain again. We had a lot of rain last night, so don't fall asleep, right? I know the rain puts me to sleep for sure. Jennifer's here. Hey, Jen. Thank you for joining us. Suzanne is here. Hello, hello. Says my class was canceled due to Tropical Storm Arthur. That's a terrible reason to have your class canceled. I hope everything's okay. But thanks for joining us. It's good to see you here. I'm glad you could catch a live. We are busy, busy, busy. I lost a little bit of track of time. I'm not too late, thankfully, for it. I was over in the metals room trying to organize one of the tables and kind of move things around. We're trying to get that room cleaned up and spruced up a little bit. We got up and around a little bit later today. I think we were both kind of exhausted from things. Andrew was up a little bit earlier, and then he took a nap, and then I slept in. I got up early to feed the cats, and then I was not feeling good. My stomach was very upset, so I laid back down and then ended up sleeping in too much. But apparently my body needed it because it was telling me not yet. So let's see, my starchy lunch has a little to do with the sleepiness. Uh-oh. Leslie's here too. Hello, Leslie. Congratulations on your GoFundMe. It's going up and up and up. I see. I'm glad that it's doing that. I'm thankful for you that it's doing that. If anyone missed that, please check out her GoFundMe for Twisted Sista. She's trying to raise some money to help keep things going and just, do the thing that we all try to do. So it's great to see that, and we're happy for you. And hopefully it'll keep going up and up and up for you. So yeah, I was trying to organize one of the tables with a little bit of time I had before the live. I don't know where everything goes or and I don't think we don't know the whole plan of where everything's going to end up. We have ideas of where it might happen, but you know how plans change. So I was trying to just kind of not move things too much from where Andrew would know they would be if he needs them. But trying to just organize things like, finding the sandpaper, putting all the sandpaper together, putting all the tools together, putting, things like that I can group, putting the copper with the copper and silver with the silver and things like that. So I was over trying to do that a little bit and kind of got into the organizing phase and lost track of time a little bit. But I'm here and I'm not too late. We've been later than this for other reasons. So says, thanks so much. Also, my new website is kind of live. Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. What is the new website the same address or is it a different web address? Are you just replacing the old one? What's happening? Because I don't know. I don't know. But I do hope everyone is doing well. If you have sent me an email from like late last night or early this morning, I've not gotten to those yet. I've not gotten to my email yet. I've been busy with other things, trying to get other things done, but I will get to those. I have some questions for people. I have mostly some requests from yesterday's show. So I haven't gotten to those to check them yet, but I will. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Today is Wednesday, which is why we are here at 3 p.m. Eastern time instead of 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. And I have my pottery class after this, so I don't do the chit chat as long today. We have to cut it a little bit short, but we'll chit chat for a little bit longer. And then I have 30 wonderful things to show you all. Hopefully you all enjoy them and see something you like. That'll definitely help us keep what we do going. I've posted. I've been spending some time replying to people. I've posted on Facebook in some of the groups in Johnstown. We do this pretty often. I share our posts to groups in Johnstown and things like that. But Ash says yes, same URL. Good. Um, and a lot of times there's not much, when you post into a group, sometimes you get a lot of people chatting with you, and sometimes you get crickets. I posted about our store. Some of you may have seen that because I know some of you have joined the Johnstown groups just because we're in them, and want to see what's going on in the area. But I posted in them, and um, this one's getting a good bit of traction. People are excited. They did not know there was a bead store. They did not know there was a fabric store. They did not know even about ceramics sometimes. The ceramic shop has been in Johnstown since at least the 70s. And some people have no idea it's there. We also have some other shops, a guy who teaches music. We have a painting where they teach painting and resin things. They have a 3D critter. They make 3D critters, and they do some rug stuff. Um, and all of these shops are within a block of one another. They're on our block or the block across the street. And we're all in one little area. So I wrote a post kind of letting people know we hear all the time, either literally people telling us or by reading about it, how there's nothing to do in Johnstown. And there is so much to do in Johnstown. Um, and so I just kind of highlighted the one, two, three, four, five, six, seven shops that are all around us. I think it's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight shops, I think, including the restaurant across the street. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. It's really seven. Two people are in one, though. They're sharing a space. So it's really eight different businesses, all right within about 2 blocks. One of those businesses stretches down to the other block. But people had no idea. People had no idea. And people seem to be very excited about it. Of course, we're getting the trolls. Somebody was talking about, oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. What is there, though, for people who are in their like 18 to 35? And I'm like, we started doing this in that age range, and we get customers all the time in that age range. Just because someone doesn't like something doesn't mean that there's nothing to do. It doesn't mean that other people won't find it enjoyable. And I kind of said that. It was kind of I kind of was talking about, like either help or get out of the way. It's one of those things. And instead of sharing this post with people who might actually like to do it and have something going on in Johnstown and have more people doing more things and more things maybe starting because of it, you choose to belittle it. And it's just kind of not the mentality. It's not the growth mentality. So there were things like that, but a lot of people have been like, oh, my grandkids would love to do that, or I would love to do that, or I've been looking for a place to teach me to learn how to sew, or Jen says 18 to 35-year-olds don't like to make art, buy gifts. I know, right? They were like, where's the nightlife? Where's the day life? I'm like, if you're looking for nightlife, there's nightlife too. If you're looking for day life, I think art is a wonderful thing to do during the day. It's a wonderful thing to do during the night too. Um, and I also said, you know what? If you don't like what's around, then maybe try starting something. Get involved. Try starting up something. We started this on very, very, very little when we started our shop. Um, and I know things are hard right now. I know, the economy is even harder. We did not start during an easy time. We were laughed out of the bank when we tried to get a bank loan. So we started on so much less than what many, many businesses start on. And we, we, uh, you know, we did it. Knock on wood, we're still doing it. If you don't like what's around you, we felt there wasn't a bead store. There wasn't a place to make things like that. There were other creative places, yes, but there wasn't what we were doing, and we wanted that, and so we created it. And that's what I kind of try to tell people. Like, I know they're trolling. I know that's what they want to do. They would rather do that than actually create something. Um, but at the same time, um, you know, that is the problem. Sitting around trolling on your computer is not going to make anything better. What is going to make things better? Hey, you want something to do during the day? Get a group of friends together and start a thing where you go visit local businesses. Or, there's a woman around here who she gets groups together and they go into local restaurants and they have partnerships with the restaurants and they do little tastings and they do stuff like that. So, do something like that. Um, let's see here. Let me see. Um, let's see. Suzanne says, sorry, I'm way far back in the comments. Tornado watch flood warnings, typical South Louisiana weather, but seriously doing good in Upton. Good. Good, 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 good. Susan's here, says lurking, not a great day here. My father-in-law has transitioned after a long cancer journey. I'm sorry to hear that, Susan. Please feel free to lurk. Feel free to take your time that you need. Um, I did not realize it was going to be that quickly, but I'm sorry to hear that. But after you know, my grandfather went through a stroke, two strokes. My grandmother had cancer for a while and she had kidney issues in the end. And I saw the kind of what happens to people. And so, um, glad they're at peace, but I'm sorry for your loss. Um, Marianne says, lurk away, Susan, love you. Yes, we all love you. We're sending you good thoughts, lots of virtual hugs since we can't be there. But yeah, sorry to hear that. I know that can't be easy. Um, let's see, sending condolences. Susan says, Leslie, I'm glad your website is launched. Yes, a good destination, bunch of good destination for locals. Marianne says, yeah, I think so, right? Susan says, I almost tore one of your commenters a new body hole, but I did not. I know people are getting wild. And they're trolls because every single one of these people are working. You know how you can post in groups anonymously now on Facebook? Every single one of them, I think every single one is posting with an anonymous name. Um, and when you look at some of their group history, it's all negative stuff. It's all negative stuff. They're only hitting people and saying negative things. They're not saying any good things. So they're just trolling, and that's what people love to do. I guess people who aren't creative or people who don't feel that they I don't know. I don't know what they feel about themselves, but they feel it's better just to troll instead of try to make some change or try to do something positive in their world. So, but my replies to those people aren't necessarily for those people. They're for other people who might be on the verge of thinking the same way. And that's why I take the time and bother to even reply to them because I know they're trolling. I flat out say, I know you're trolling, but there may be people who are thinking similarly, but aren't, at that point yet. They're not at the trolling point. They're just thinking, yeah, maybe they're right. I am in that age group. When somebody brings up a point like that, it's still good to have a counterpoint. I think, I don't know where those will go. They may devolve even further and I'll probably not respond, but at least I made, a counterpoint for that. Um, Marianne says, I would love a similar group of businesses that are nearby. I know. Like having a fabric shop and a bead store and a ceramic shop and a painting place and a place where you can get fun, cool things, to add to all of that or to incorporate in all of that is amazing. And if you want to go learn music, there's somebody who teaches music. I know there's also a massage place nearby. I have not met her yet. So I don't even know the name of her business, so I couldn't actually say what that is, but there's a massage place in there as well. And then there's the flower shop. So all of that stuff is within walking distance of one another. It's like literally maybe 2.5, 3 blocks. The flower shop is the furthest. All the other ones are within a block. The flower shop is a little bit further down. but I think it's on the second, maybe third block down. I can't remember if there's a block in between now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, to have all of that right in one place where you could spend the day, an entire afternoon with your friends, jumping from one store to another, getting fabric and making projects and going to do some ceramic, like it's amazing. Um, and we're trying to work on, I was talking with Jada's Jazz Cafe and Joora there, and we're trying to work on maybe doing a block party around our block, and just have a block party where people can come and hang out, and they'll have some food and we'll have crafts going on, and we might have some pop-up stuff, and we can see about other vendors maybe coming up and doing, because I think you only need a very inexpensive vendor license if you want to do something like that. But there's a lot of stuff going on that we're trying to do, and just to get people to know we're there, because obviously there's a lot of people that want to do this stuff, because I got a lot of comments on my post about it and they just don't know. um let's see here. As I said, next goal is new tech. Sigh. Well, if you need help with that, I can try. Um, I'm decent at it. I'm not as good as I used to be at it, but um, yeah, we do most of our stuff, like our filming and stuff, mostly with our phones. It's good enough for pretty much everything. When you can record in 4K um, or 6K, it's fine for a lot of stuff that we do. Um, Let's see here. Vicky says, where's the Chamber of Commerce? Do they have a presence on social media? I believe we are not a member yet, which maybe is good or bad, but we have not had a great, um, we've not always had a great history with Chamber of Commerce's. Um, we have been in and out of the one that was here in Ligonier. Sometimes we felt like they were really active and really trying to help, and sometimes they felt like they were just trying to put on events that may or may not help. It became kind of an event thing, and that's fine because it does help a lot of people. We are a very different business in that how specialty we are. Um, so we have, ours is different. You're not going to walk into a bead store and decide you're going to buy something. Now we have gifts and we have art and we have things like that that do attract, people who are never going to bead or make jewelry. But we are not like a clothing store. We are not like, like some of those stores, general stores, where you walk in and no matter who you are, you might find something, right? Um, so unless our store is being pushed as a certain kind of thing and a certain kind of people, it's not always helpful to have huge events in town, because all we do is get a lot of people in and out the door that don't want what we have. And it's just kind of like, it's good for people to see us. There's always that part of it. Maybe they'll tell a friend, but we get a lot of people that are just in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And it's a little bit, you love to see people come in the store, but it's also, if you're working with somebody in the store and a bunch of people are coming in and out and they have no interest, you still have to greet them. You still have to talk to them. You still have to acknowledge them. You still have to watch for theft. Um, so it's a lot of those kind of things. You're probably not going to make a sell off of a lot of the people that are walking around doing whatever event is happening in town. We're kind of looking for our people, right? And that's just kind of the way it is. But so it's we have had some kind of presidents of the chamber who were very invested in, they got outside, they walked to all the stores, they asked people, what do you think? They asked the store owners what's going on. They were very in touch with the store owners. During those times we joined the chamber because we believed that they were being very proactive for the stores and asking for our input. There are other ones that have more or less built the chamber to be an events space where they host a ton of events in town, and that's very important for bringing people to town. Um, and so with that influx of people, I know their goal is that will raise the sales and businesses and restaurants, hopefully. But they are not specifically highlighting individual businesses in any way. And during those times, we generally have not become members. So that's kind of the thing right now. Johnstown, I have not, we haven't really looked into it. We're getting our feet under us there. We're getting things worked out. We have to see. There are various organizations in Johnstown that are working hard at trying to accentuate the businesses around town and things to do around town. So we need to pick and choose. We can't afford always to be members of everything. So we do have to look into it and see what's worth it to us and what will specifically help our kind of very more or less, we are a specific kind of business. We are looking for beaters. We're looking for jewelry makers. Um, Random people coming in are generally, like I said, we have gifts. We've implemented a lot of that kind of stuff. I don't want to dissuade anybody from walking in the door, but a lot of times we are looking for the people who are interested. We have more beads than we do anything else. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Um, let's see here. Marion says, it is progress, Leslie. Keep it up. Yeah, you're making great progress. Um, let's see. Sad, mean people, I actually feel sorry for them, says Leslie. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Um, you know, uh, I I can understand why people get that way. But you know, we can all sit around and do that, or we can try to do the best we can with what we have. Um, you know People look at us, we have a good bit now. We're very thankful for that. um it's hard. It is hard. We are not at the point where um everything is just easy and it just runs, and if something breaks, we call someone in to fix it. I can't wait to win the lottery tonight so that we can do that. But we are not there at this very moment. I'm imagining that, though. I'm manifesting that for tonight. um but we have still put probably more work into this than many people would be willing to do. And I know that if it weren't for Andrew pushing me and me pushing him, sometimes I wonder sometimes if we would still be doing this, because this is hard. It is not easy, but it is something that people get excited about. And like, we have you watching. I believe you are excited about what we do. And there are many, many people who are excited about what we do, and we're just trying to locate those people. But it is not easy. And so, but we also didn't come from much. We didn't come from all this money. We didn't come from where, we started a store, and when we started our store, it was filled to the brim with beautiful things. And, it was stuffed, and people came swarming through the doors, and we sold out in the first day. Like, that was not the story. The story was, we bought out a small store that had closed years before that. We couldn't even afford to buy out everything. We bought out a portion and the things that we wanted to focus on mostly. Artisan, check glass, and gemstones were our three founding things that we wanted to focus on in our store. And to this day, we still continue to try to do that. We are not, for example, a seed bead store necessarily. We do not carry a lot of that. We've always chosen check glass, artisan beads, and the gemstones. That was where we wanted to put our focus. And that is what we've continued to put our focus on, even as we've expanded into other things. That's still our main, that's the soup right there. And, we bought out as much of that as we could. Um, I had a tiny bit of stock from Apple for the year that I worked there. It was a year, maybe even less than a year and a half. Can't even remember nowadays. Um, Maybe a year and a half. Um, didn't have much. Cashed it out though. And that's what we used. That was it. That's all we had. We had to put down the first, last, and security deposit on the space. We had to buy the inventory. Um, and we had a tiny, if we've shown many videos and pictures of our first store and our grand opening, and if you look at it, it is very basic. It is very small. um, but we built it from there. Andrew, for the first 4 years, worked as hard as he could, um, to make that store, that first store well, that was our first two locations, to make them really run. We had a 5-year plan that I would stop working my other job in 5 years. We did it in 4. I should say he did it in 4, because he built the store to the point where it could do what it was doing. And I was comfortable enough to let go of my other job at that time. I went back to that job after, as we started to grow and they needed help there again. I went back and helped them, and it helped us. That's when it burned down. After that, after a few years there again, and we lost that kind of safety net that we had kind of counted on, because I was able to do that work and do the store work. So that is that is kind of, when people naysay, and when people, I do want to feel sorry for them, but at the same time, I look back and I said, we were not, I mean, we were blessed in many ways, but we also invested the time and effort and did almost every single thing as far as getting the place ready ourselves. We painted, we changed things, we moved furniture, we took furniture off the streets and painted it. Like, we did that ourselves. We've had some family help throughout the years, when things got really tough or when we needed something, and we're so thankful for that. We've had the help of you all out there doing various fundraisers and sales, and all of that, and we are so thankful for that. But it's hard to feel sorry for people who want to complain and not try anything or not put in any effort. Um, and so it's hard. It's a little bit hard, but I get where they're coming from. Some people get stuck. Um, and it's sad when people get stuck, because everyone, we believe, is super talented at things. Like, there is something in your life that you are super talented at, and everybody should be able to. I think everybody should be able to make a living on that if they want to. We don't have the society where that's allowed to happen, but I wish it were. And when we win the lottery and we have our commune, or our compound, as Andrew likes to call it, everyone will be able to make a living doing what they love in the compound, right? That's the whole goal. Um, let's see here. Marion says, kind of people need a life. I wish they would build a better life for themselves. That's, I guess, what it comes down to. I wish that they knew that they could build a better life for themselves. Might be hard. It will be hard, if you ask me. But you can build a good life for yourself, I think. Um, and I know there are also other things that fit into that. I, I'm not a person of color. Andrew is, and we've been able to do this together. Would it have been as easy if there weren't me here? I don't know. Probably not. There are things that are set systemically against people sometimes. It was not easy being queer, being gay. Sometimes we still get, feedback against that. Um, but it's not, life is not as easy for all people, and Johnstown is a very mixed melting pot of people. And I don't know, because these people are posting anonymously. I don't know what their backgrounds are. I don't know what their lives are like. um, I do know that it is harder for certain people, but I also know that we know people of all faiths, of all ethnicities, all backgrounds, who are working on their shops and, are making things happen. Um, but Vicky says, we know trolls are cowards, but can you imagine how miserable they make the people around them? Yeah, like, I think, for me, I think they find one another, and sometimes that's the thing, right? Misery loves company, kind of thing. And you know what? There have been times in my life I've got sucked into that. There have been times that I have had a group of friends who truly, I think sometimes we were miserable together and happy in that miserableness. Is that a word? Happy in that misery, I guess, is the better word. But you know, I uh I don't know. I'd rather not be there. And I wish people could see that there's another way, and that there are people willing to help. We have anybody that we know that started a store, we have tried to, make a purchase, or we've tried to make sure and share it with our large audience. We don't have the largest audience, but we have a fairly large one, and we try to use that for good. Um, and we've had friends that have thanked us and have said, you are some of the only friends that when we started, you invested in buying a product, or you shared, and we appreciate that so much. And it's so sad that people are not happy for their friends to do things sometimes, or they don't help in the sharing. I was really surprised to hear that at one point, because I thought this friend did really well with their business, but they said when they started, we were one of the few people that actually shared and let people know, and tried to buy something from them out of all of their friends. And that's so sad. That's so sad to me. um, and this is somebody I've never met in person. We've just been friends online since probably early late teens. um, but we've never actually met in person. And it doesn't take much to say, hey, my friend started this, take a look. um, and it doesn't take much to do that for a stranger either. um, and like I said, we have a fairly decent following, and we try to use that for as much good as possible. William's in a philosophical mood today. I know, Marianne, sometimes I get like this. Sorry, I don't have time to be philosophical today either. Getting too deep. Suzanne says the Chamber of Commerce locally is not all that proactive. That's a shame. um, Marian says, I do have a new Mediterranean restaurant opening soon. Otherwise, it's daycare, pharmacy, vape shop, barber, and convenience store. Not horrid, but not really fun places. Yeah, you've got some necessities there, which is nice. Very nice. Um, Jen says, soon somehow we're never really ready. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. Yes, please do. Marian says, still manifesting, I see. I am. I am. It's tonight. No one else play the Powerball. It's ours anyway. Don't even bother. Um, Hey, Rosanna's here in Rose's garden. I watch her. If you don't watch her, make sure you watch her. Says, hey William, thanks for finding the silk for me. You are welcome. Thanks for grabbing it. I felt bad. I was very low on some of the colors that you wanted. I don't know if you're still watching. I'm so far behind in the comments. But I thank you for watching. Thank you for watching today, and thank you for grabbing some. I found some other color. If you're ever interested in colors of this side stitch silk, we have some in our online store. Some of it's probably being bought out by a number of people um, who are buying it. I should restock the online store, but um, we had a person helping do that when we first stocked it, and they were awesome at getting stuff in the online store. I am less awesome. I have less time, but if you're ever looking for that side stitch silk, we have a ton of it in the physical shop. Certain colors are low. Sometimes we don't have only but one of something, because it is all hand dyed by a German couple. So sometimes the dye looks different from one to the other. It's not exactly the same. What we were doing in the online store is kind of finding the specific ones that had more than one color, or more than one of each color, and trying to stock them that way. But the stuff in the store is kind of more onesie twosies. But if you're ever looking for a color, let me know and I can get you pictures. Um, Leslie said, I sewed the table covers for my first show, and a good friend made by Banner. Yeah, it's that's the way it is, right? You do as much as you can. Cindy's back. Hello, Cindy says, hey guys, thanks for last night. Thank you for hanging out with us. We had a fun time last night. Andrew's not here today. He's at the house at the moment. So I was he had to stop back home, so I figured I would do the show here. I don't know if he'll be on his way up or not, but we took separate cars today because it's such a messy day with me doing my pottery class in the evening, and instead of having to drive back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Um, Len says, yay, not too late. Was doing yoga at my friends. Hello, AG Beat fam. Hello, Len. Thanks so much. Um, Kelly's here, says, I'm so sorry. I just joined. It sounds like some bad mojo going down. I'm imagining us in a bubble of light. Thank you. It's not bad mojo. It's really not. I was just talking there. I posted in some groups on Facebook. I got many beautiful, positive reactions, but there are a few that were not. And I was talking about, kind of that and how we started and what you do. Um, and some people just have an energy. A lot of people in our new town of Johnstown, Johnstown was a booming steel town. The steel industry was huge there. Bethlehem Steel was in there. U.S. Steel came through. There were a number of steel places, and it was booming. And a lot of people still remember that time. And now that it is not, they have gotten into this thinking process that there's nothing to do there. And so I've been trying, and the groups, the stores around us, and some of our friends have been trying to change that. And it's you're going to be up against something. Um, every time you do that. Um, and the news only tends to report, a lot of the bad things that happen. It's a city. Any city is going to have robberies and things like that, and you will hear a lot about those, but you will not hear about what the great small business around the corner did or what they're doing or so it's that mindset, and we're just trying to get people to find us and know that we're here, and I put out a post, and this post caught on. Most of my posts get one or two likes maybe. This one caught on, and a lot of people are talking, a lot of people are interested in what we're all doing up in our one or two blocks of where our store is located. We have about 7 creative places up there. Um, and people didn't know about it, and so people are getting to know about it. But thank you for the bubble of light. I will always accept the bubble of light. um, let's see here. uh, Rosanna says mean prejudiced people are just sad. It is. There's no need, right? We are Johnstown. I love Johnstown because it is a true, that like that melting pot. There are people from all over in Johnstown, all different backgrounds, and it is beautiful. Um, it is wonderful getting to talk to people from different backgrounds. I studied language in school because I was so interested in other cultures. I wanted to learn. I feel like language is one of the best ways you can learn about a culture, or at least get to know that culture. It's hard to get to know a culture if you can't speak their language. Um, and so that's what I did in college is I studied languages. And that is, you know, it's it it's always been important to me. I grew up in a place that was very whitewashed. Um, there were no people of color when I grew up. There was one family that tried to move into our school district. It did not go well for them. And that was a very sad, sad, terrible thing. Um, um, and, growing up, even then, and my family kind of instilled this that, like you treat everybody the same. You don't, we did not, I was never brought up to look at people differently. And, people are different, and, but you don't need to treat them poorly because they're different, right? It's good to learn about why they're different, about what's going on in their world. And that's what I grew up trying to do and trying to learn the best that I could, in an area where that it was nearly impossible. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have, as far as I could go, I could ride my bike, and if I couldn't ride my bike there, that's you didn't go anywhere. Then I went to college, and that changed things. And I went to a big college. I went to Penn State, and there were a lot of different people there, and that was wonderful. And then I moved to New York City, and that was wonderful. And learning more and more and more about people. And um, when we moved to Ligonier, Andrew was one of the very few people of color in this town. There are more now, more are coming in, which is a great thing, I think. Um, but it had its challenges and blessings. Um, you know, we saw it all. We saw it all, and I saw some of it through his eyes by watching what was going on. Not that I could feel the same way necessarily, but um, you know, just seeing what happens and how people treat him versus me. And Johnstown, definitely not as big as New York City, not as big as some of the bigger cities, but a lot of diversity, and I love it. I think it's great. um it's it's hard for some people though, and It's one of those things. Um, let's see here. Lynn's saying hi. Marion says the only store I use is the convenience store, especially since they have the cheapest gas in my usual haunts. Nice. Um, Rosanna says it's great you got it for me. We appreciate that. I love when I see you in my chat. Yeah, we try. We try to jump in. I try never to take over anyone's chat. For a long time, um, we we didn't jump into other people's chats on YouTube or anything like that because we don't ever want people to feel like we are trying to take away their business or take away their people. Um, and so for a long time, we kind of had this, because we had that mentioned a few times and we weren't being anything but like just talking to people. And, some people are very, very guarded and they're very scared um, of that. And we try our best to highlight our friends. Um, and like Leslie, we're like, go to her fundraiser, go buy stuff from her. We always try to highlight our friends. Some people aren't like that, and it kind of shocked us a little bit, and we kind of got that fearful feeling of jumping into other people's chats and doing things. And lately I've been trying to slowly introduce ourselves into other people's chats and um, not I'm not trying to go into sell stuff, although I appreciate Rosanna when you're like, Allegory Gallery might have it, and then I can post it. I feel better posting stuff and talking about it. And I think that's a good way when people can work together like that. But we are not there to try to sell things in people's chats, and we never want people to think that. If the conversation comes up like that, we're happy to do it and we appreciate it. But we're just trying to get out there and get to know people, and hopefully people will get to know us and we will build these relationships. um, and kind of do things together. We've got some lives planned with some people, and we can't wait to do those. And we're just trying to find some more of our people. That's what it's all about: building the community, building us all up. We don't have a ton of followers on YouTube yet. We have about 2,600. We're 2,599. It keeps going up and down. But we have like 8,800 on Facebook, so that's our biggest place. We only have 2,000 something on Instagram only. That's a lot. That's a crazy amount of people. But it's not, I guess, in the digital world. But to me, when I think about 2,000 some people follow it, that's amazing to me. Um, but we want to build that. We want to build good relationships with people, and the only way we're going to do that is if we get out there and put ourselves out there. So we're happy that we're finding people who are okay with it. We're finding people who are accepting of just having us around, and we want other people around too. Let's see here. Um, so thank you. I'm glad we're okay in the chat. Marion says AD does try very hard to get what customers want. We do. We do. Um, Sort of like gemstones, the colors come out how they want to be, right? It's true. It's true. Um, Kelly says, oh, it sounds like some people are a little stuck in a victim stance. Maybe, maybe. And life deals hard things to people. And Andrew and I have been through our more than fair share, I think, each of hard things. That's why we're going to win the lottery tomorrow or tonight, because we're ready. It's time. We're done with those kind of issues. We've had enough of them. We've had more than our fair share. Let's just win, and we promise we're gonna give as well. We're not going to hoard all that wealth. We hit our over $70 million after taxes. We're gonna share that wealth with people. We're ready for it. Um, Cindy says best saying is treat people the way you want to be treated. I know, but if some people don't feel they deserve to be treated well, they don't treat others well, and that's the sad thing. That's the sad thing. Um, oh no. First aid break. Tuki, my cat, accidentally landed on my hand when he jumped down on the chair, caused what Andrew calls a blood incident. Oh no, 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 no. No bleeding on the beads. No bleeding on the beads. Hopefully everything goes well there. Um, As a mostly optimistic person, Marian says, I feel that if you work at it, there's always a solution to your problems. Yeah. Sometimes that solution is harder to make that choice than others, but there's usually one, right? Um, let's see here. Um, in Rose's Garden, Rosanna says, we are like that here in Montana. A lot of Native Americans, but very few other cultures other than white. Yeah. And you're lucky to have Native Americans around, I think, because that is, there's so much richness in that culture. Um, and so many things that people can talk about and share and learn from one another. I didn't even have that. It was all white. That's it. That's all we had. Um, Rosanna says, I don't feel like that. Actually, as you know, I will ask you to answer some of the questions people ask. Yeah, and we appreciate that. We really do. It's it's we're trying to find people that want to work together and want to do things together, and that's what we're trying to do. Um, Amanda's here. Hello, Amanda. Good to see you here. Hopefully you're doing well up there. We haven't seen you in a while, I feel like. Usually I guess we sometimes see on the Wednesdays, right? Usually in the daytime ones. Um, oh, Leslie's going. Had to pick up Frankie from the vet. Well, hopefully all is well. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day. Um, Len says, I will always say I'm going to a business friends event, post about their trunk shows, comment on their post, share their post, and share where I got certain beads or art. You do. I can say that I know you do. And we appreciate that. I'm sure, I hope that other people also appreciate that. Len is a big supporter and always shares. And like some people say they're not going to share. Um, they say they're not going to share because they don't feel like anybody sees their stuff. But the way the algorithms work doesn't matter if people see your stuff. It's that when you share, the algorithm thinks it's more popular. Whether people see it from you or not, the fact that you shared it means for us, that little piece just got a little more popular and more of our audience, the 8,800 people that follow us, more of those people are going to then see it. It doesn't matter how many people on your end see it. I mean, it's great when people on your end see it and we get new people that way. That's a great way for us to get new word of mouth going on. But when you share, even if you think no one in the world, why should I share? No one's going to see it, or just my friends are going to see it again. But that means to the algorithms that what we're doing is that little post just got a little bit more popular. And so they're like, oh, maybe if that's a little more popular for them, these other people that also follow them, maybe we'll actually show it to them in their feed. Because we have 8,800 followers on Facebook, and we generally, maybe each post gets seen by 100 people. Maybe we might get 3 or 4 or 5 up to 10 likes on a post, unless the post gets a little bit outside of that. So the more you share it, the more it's telling the algorithm to let some of those other 8,800 people see it or put it in their post in front of their eyes next time they log in. And so that's why we say share. It's not necessarily to reach new people or, to reach people that haven't seen it before, or it's to make that post more popular. And that's what you can do every time you share it. You're making that, every time you tag us, you're making us a little more popular. Every time you comment on something that we have, you're making that post a little more popular, and the algorithm pays attention to that. That's why when somebody, like these group posts I just recently made, when some people started commenting on them, now more people and more people and more people are seeing them. And those posts are becoming some of the more popular posts that I've posted in those groups in quite a while. So that's the way it works. Um, let's see here. Oh, May's here. Hello, May. Thanks for joining us. Suzanne says, I was raised by a stone cold bigot. I have changed. That's good. You've certainly, I would not have even thought you were raised that way. So, yeah, sorry to hear that. Sorry you had to make that change, but I'm glad you did. Thank you for doing it. Um, Mary says, not always an easy solution. No, right? Ba, 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 da, da, da. Let's see. Our community is mostly Hispanic and Native American and us hippies, LOL. We all love each other, says Cindy. That's awesome. I like that. That's what we want for our commune or our compound when we win the lottery tonight. Still manifesting it. That's what we want. We want a bunch of great people. I always thought I should be a hippie. I was born too late to be in the actual hippies. Um, and I went through a phase in my life where I was like not hippie, but the true me, I'm a Pisces. The true me has always wanted to be like a flower child. That's pretty much um, that's pretty much the way I have always seen myself ending up. Um, Rosanna says exactly. The shares and likes raise our videos up in the algorithm in the up next section. Yeah, for the YouTube videos, absolutely. Up next, in the for you, sometimes people call it the for you. Yeah, when you hit the like, when you hit that thumbs up, when you subscribe, it tells more people about what we're doing, and we might show up for them. Yeah. May says, had lunch early and remember today was the early live. Yes, it is. And I've got to flip the camera. I've been talking getting philosophical for way too long. Andrew's not here to tell me to flip the camera, William. You've got to go. So I'm going to flip the camera because I do have to go. So tonight might be today may be a little faster and furious than normal. Of course, I say that every single time, and I have not ever been very fast or very furious. I just wanted to show you, Andrew, if you missed yesterday's show, we showed you these. I just lost the word. Runes. We showed you these little rune pendants that Andrew was making. And we did some of the finished. He did all the finished ones last night that we got. And here's what they look like finished. Just so you can see, he colored them in. He polished them up. So they're going to look better than that. So I just wanted you to know, because they are so pretty. They're sitting here all polished up now. So if you ordered them, they are ready for you, and I'll get them packed up with your other stuff. But they do look a little different. They look much better. That's pretty much what I'm saying. They look much better. Cindy says, "Is this a sell again?" Yes, it's always a sell, Cindy. It's always a sell at Allegory Gallery. No, every weekday we go live. This is our only day we go at 3 p.m. instead of 7:30 p.m. But Monday through Friday, usually mostly 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, we chat for about an hour, and then we do a live sell of about 30 things. The last 2 days, we've done sales that were like 60 things, but that's unusual. Normally, it's 30 things. When we do our total request lives, where you get to comment for things you're looking for, or like the game we played the last 2 days, we usually do more lots to keep the energy going. But we normally, when we pick things, I pick things out. I pick things at random. I have them here with me, and we do 30 lots. And that's what we do. So Suzanne says they look great. Thank you. He did a good job on them. So we always do a sell after the talking. But we like to talk because we like to get to know everybody, and we like to hang out with each other. And that's the time when you can let me know what's happening in your day. Or sometimes I get overly philosophical like today, and I get into my thoughts and get into myself. And then I don't let you all talk too much. But hopefully you can feel free to chime in anytime in the comments. All right. Yesterday was what? JKL. So K. KLM. I'm moving one letter every day, if you haven't noticed that. These are KLM lots. Same way to claim as always. Send us the lot number in an email in the subject line to info@allegorygallery.com. Here are the quick rundown of the rules. If you send us an email for it and you get it, you're promising to take it. It is first come, first serve, though, so get your email in quickly if you want it. Please, 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 please send a brand new email every single time. Please do not reply to an old email to send a new one. Just send a brand new, spanking brand new email every time. That way things don't move around in my inbox and cause trouble. If you are replying to an invoice, please do not reply to the invoice. It's tempting to hit reply and ask questions. The invoices may even say you can do that. I can't change the template. Please do not. please send us an email, a brand new email. The replies to invoices go into a special system, and I don't always see them. So people are like, I replied to the invoice like a week ago. I'm like, I don't see those. They don't go to our email. They go into a special system, and it's hard to get to and hard to see. So I don't know that it happens, and I don't think to check it all the time. So just send us an email if you have a question. info@allegorygallery.com. Start that fresh email. Other than that, that's pretty much it, I think. Pretty easy. Those runes look great. I want to look up rune meetings now and order more, says Kim. You better do it fast, because Andrew, he said get it in, get them in. If you want to order them, he's going to put the runes away. They do look much better. Can't wait to get mine. Hint, hint, says Marianne. I got your email, Marianne. I'm putting you in the line. I have like a large influx of people who suddenly want their things all at once. So I am working on it. I worked on some more today. And I have a list. I put you on the list. So I will get things out as quickly as I can for you. Sometimes people want to hold their stuff, and sometimes people want it shipped. Sometimes everyone wants them all shipped at once. So I'm doing my best to catch up. Cindy says, love it. Thank you for the info. It helps this old lady. That's all right. We are happy to be here for you. We're happy that you like things, and we're happy that you're here watching us. We appreciate it so much. Cindy says, ugh, oh, okay, I'll send a new one with my info. Oh, did you send one out? See, I didn't even know. Yes, please, if I don't have your info, please send us an email with your info. That's another thing I forgot to say. If you're brand new to us, make sure we have your shipping address. Usually the invoices ask for it, but recently people have been able to skip that somehow. I tagged the little check mark that says request shipping address from people, but some people are able to skip that now. So I don't know how. But yeah, please make sure we have your shipping address. Marion says, I knew you would. Good. The one Len claimed is for protection. Nice. Nice. All right. Let's get this show started. KLM1. What do I have for y'all today? These are from Nun Design. We love Nun Design stuff. And we're giving you special pricing on these, by the way. I have three of these available. So there's three. Normally these should be about $10.50. We're doing them for $8.75. And I just really wrote on myself. Suzanne says, runes are wonderful. I have several tattoos. Yeah, you've had tattoos. I know you've gotten some of our, when we did the wooden pendant rune collection, I think you got one of those, or multiple of those maybe. This is Nun Design. This is a fern pendant. Really pretty. It is approximately 22, 23 millimeters by about 31. Three of them available. KLM1. KLM1. All right, $8.75 a piece. Okay. Still a really good price for that. You know, our fine pewter collection, we have pieces that are pretty inexpensive. But for this, that is for a new item, that's a good price. That's a really good price. I've only got two of these, it looks like, left. KLM2. These were 22. I'll do them for 18 today. That's the other thing. If you're not used to watching our shows, we usually give you discounts during the shows. So you're getting special discounts that if we put these on our website, generally the retail price is going to be this. It's going to be this one that's crossed out if we have a crossed out price, or sometimes higher. Depending on what it is. So you get special prices. These prices are generally valid for about 24 to 48 hours after the live, and then we don't offer those prices anymore if it was a special price. So you got to get things when we show them. We try and give you the best prices. Sometimes if we only have one of something, then we give you an extra special price. Mary says, funny, I can use my one card to pay if I enter the info manually, but won't currently with Google Pay. It did work until I verified my card. Oh my goodness, that's wild. We sold one of the KLM ones. Thank you so much. Cindy says, beautiful bronze. These are not bronze. These are gold plated. They're gold plated, but they're a bronzy color. It's really pretty. They're a gold plated. I believe these are pewter. I don't know if they say. Andrew ordered these, but I believe they're pewter charm. Gold plated, but really pretty. Nice bronzy color. And then to go with that bronzy color, I didn't do this on purpose, but it happened. Look at these garnets. These are beautiful microfaceted round garnets. Stunning, stunning garnets. They're kind of on the verge of one of the kind of a red color, but they're more of a, what, hessonite, the brown garnet, but with a hint of a kiss of like the red. They're so pretty. I think they called them something, they called them a wine garnet, I think. Or vino garnet. I can't remember. It was something like that. But they're so pretty. And these are, that's a 16-inch strand. 16-inch strand, which is a long strand for a microfaceted like that. And then these are 1, 2, 3 millimeter, 3 millimeter faceted rounds. Oops, I forgot. I have 2 of these, $18 each only. $18 each. What a great price for microfaceted. Andrew will tell you, back in the day, microfaceted stuff used to be crazy expensive. And I know it's come down a little bit since then, but we still try and give you really good prices for the quality. Sometimes you'll find cheaper ones out there. You'd be like, oh, I found garnets that are 3 microfaceted and they're $7 a strand. They're probably not as nice. We're, we handpick everything. And if we handpick everything when we go to shows. When we order from our suppliers, we only order from trusted vendors. And even when that stuff comes in, we sort and go through everything. We touch everything before we sell it to you. There have been a number of times in the history of our store where we have just not sold it to anybody or sent it back, or absorbed it into something that maybe we'll use someday, because it's not good enough to sell to you all. If it's not good enough to sell to you all, we're not going to put it up there. One time something snuck by us, and we were told that it was a jade something, and it ended up, we found out that it was glass, and it went out to customers. And because we couldn't feel good about that, we told everybody to just keep them, but we refunded everybody on them. Anybody who had bought them, we refunded everybody. We just cannot, we're not going to play that game, We're not going to play that game. We want people to be happy with what they have. But we sent out nice notes apologizing, letting people know to keep it if they want it, pass it on, but it was theirs for free. During the game last night, we had people ask for celestial stuff. I've been trying to find some things that people ask for. Like, you can see, like, this is kind of nature garden-ish that we had yesterday, or the day before during the game we were playing. Marion says, yes, in between red and hessonite, right? Suzanne says, no one comes close to your quality ever, period. Well, we appreciate that. We do our best. We do our best. This is number, we sold one of these. Thank you so much. We have one available. Here's Celestial. How about these? These are beautiful amethyst carved into a star shape. Amethyst is my birthstone, y'all. You want to be more like me? Surround yourself with amethyst. I'm joking. But yeah, probably no one wants to be more like me. I'm a mess. But these are fun. These are not a mess. These are beautiful. And they're gorgeous little star shapes. KLM3. The stars are about 10 millimeters. 10 millimeters. And amethyst is great for calming. It's supposed to help you sleep well and have great dreams. It's supposed to bring you good energy. And then there's celestial, right? Marion says, or the strands are shorter. Yes, a lot of times the strands will be shorter. Normally, these are not 16 inches. These are very nice. Normally our strands on these are 13 to 14 inches for the microfaceted stuff. So this is actually a really great find for that price, I think. See, I told you I was going to go faster, and what am I doing? Sitting here, still chit-chatting too much. I'm going to have, gonna get to my pottery class tonight. Okay, I'll make it. I'll be okay. These were 12. I'm gonna bring them down to 8 for y'all. Great price on these. Now these are okay. Here's the thing with us. We're not gonna tell you lies, y'all. We're not gonna try and fake you out. Um, these are dyed, and these are stabilized turquoise. Dyed and stabilized. We're not going to try and fool you into saying that they're not. Here's the thing. We don't believe there's any problem with that as long as you know, right? We use dyed stuff in designs all the time. We just tell people that they're dyed. There's nothing wrong with the dyed stone. There's nothing wrong with a vintage plastic bead. There's nothing wrong with, you know, anything. There's nothing wrong with using any material as long as you're upfront about what it is and you're not trying to fool someone. And so these are long strands of beautiful turquoise. They look beautiful, right? They look beautiful. Who cares if they're dyed? They look pretty. They're $8, right? Pretty and only $8. They're a dyed stone. It's not gonna be super expensive unless they're super nice for some reason, right? We have some dyed rubies. They are, if they were not dyed, they would be so much money. So much money. But they're dyed, so they're not. And we still have people are not buying. I don't know why. Maybe someday I'll show them again if people are interested. But they're super small, little round rubies. Okay, this is about a 16-inch strand, and both of them have already sold. So thank you so much. They are gone. But I always like to say that to people. You know, we're not going to try and fool you. We're going to be upfront. They're dyed. They're stabilized. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with them, and it doesn't mean you shouldn't want them, and it doesn't mean we shouldn't sell them. Right? We're not too proud to have dyed stones, and you know that's what they are. We've sold both of the garnets. Thank you so much. I'm gonna pack those up and pack those away for y'all. And let me close that bag up so they don't fall out of there over the edge of my desk. Let's see here. We've sold one of the threes. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We've sold both of those twos, and we've sold one of the ones. Okay, so we're caught up here. We still have at least one of each. We have two of those left and one of those left. We are some glorious messes in here, says Jen. Hey, I'll admit it. I'll admit it. Marianne said, someone did that with one shipment that I received that was someone else's. I got that free, and then they shipped my actual order. That's awesome. That's great customer service. We try not to mention too many other names when things mess up. So you can read that comment. I'm not going to mention names. I don't want to get in trouble, but they did a good job. Good for them. Good for them. They made it right. All right. This was normally 24. I'm going to bring it down to 20. Yeah, let's bring it down to 18. I'm going to bring it down even further. 18. I don't know who the maker is on this. This is a Lamport glass. A lot of times, if we don't know who the maker is, you'll get a good price from us. Even though it should be more, it's worth more. If we don't quite know who the maker is, we're going to give you an even better price. Look how beautiful this is. Look at this with, for example, this. With, for example, I didn't do this on purpose, y'all. Sometimes it just comes, right? The design is flowing. Look how cool that would be together. That'd be pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. So this is a Lamport glass. And look at those colors. Go great with yellows, purples, reds, oranges. You got like quite a nice fiery rainbow in there going on. This is about 23 millimeters by about 20. 23 by 20. There it is with a penny, just a little bit larger than penny size. And I love that bead. Love it, love it, love it. KLM6. What do I have next? These are so nice. I love getting excited about beads. I have 6 of these. I think I still have 6 of these. These are, I don't know why these are not selling. Let's see, they were 24. Let me see, can I do anything? We brought them down. What did I bring them down to? 21. How about, okay, we're going to try hard to sell these. I'm bringing them down to 18. All right. Y'all are twisting my arm, bringing these down to $18. These are beautiful, flashy labradorite faceted cubes. And many of them are more of a clear. Sometimes there's a round one that gets popped on there. It's just the way it is. That's how they strung them. But these are nice enough at this price. I don't mind one that's gone awry here or there or is changed up. But look how pretty these are. Beautiful labradorite. There's another round one on there. Faceted cubes. I think I think they're 3. 1, 2, 3 millimeters. A lot of times faceted cubes, we see them in 4 millimeters, but that's 3 millimeters. Now, wait, I'm going to show you another one because, sometimes people are like, we're just showing the best strand. We get that sometimes, not much because we usually show more than one, but people have tried to say that. Let me show you another one. I'm just pulling another one at random. Look at how beautiful. We're not just pulling the best strand to show you and then shipping you something else. That happens sometimes, y'all. That's nefarious when people do that, right? That's no good. It's no way to do things. So beautiful strands. You might get one of those too. You might get one of the other 4 if you order them. But was $24. I'm bringing it all the way down to 18. That's as low as I can go. That is really as low as we should go on those. $18 a strand. Let me give you the strand size. I didn't give you the strand size. Push these down. That's a 15-inch strand. 15-inch strand. KLM 6. All right. Okay. You know I like a golden glow, right? Maybe you don't. Maybe you're new. You have no idea. Andrew loves anything golden. I have 5 of these, I believe, available. This was 18. I'm going to bring them down to 15 for y'all. Let's go to 14. What the heck? Feeling generous today. Marion says it's not ethical either. No, it is not. It is not to sell things, show one and sell the others that don't look as good. We'd never do that. But we've heard some people do. This is beautiful, large citrine chips. Beautiful. Look at that citrine. Look at how gorgeous that is. Rosanna says, yes, old bait and switch. I've had that happen to me. Isn't it terrible? Then you never want to ever trust them again. And that's why we would never do that. Like, why in the world would you ever trust them again? Like, I don't know how some companies have so many customers that they can afford to do things like that, right? Like we have a small, robust customer base and a bunch of friends that buy, right? We like to call it friends, supporters. I hate the word customer. But to those people, that's all they are. They are customers and they have a bunch of them. So they can do stuff like that. And if they lose 20 of them a day, it doesn't matter. I don't know how businesses get that big and get that bold. Anyway, this is citrine nuggets. Look at how juicy they are. And again, with this, throw in some purple. Look at that. You can dangle one of these if you want to, or take away this, take away this, just do some of this, maybe add some smoky quartz in there, something like that. Marion says, or the product is not what the description said. Yeah, that's terrible too. The only time that ever happens with us is if I mess up. Like, and I'll be the first to admit, like, oh, I messed up that description. I try very hard never to do that, but we do sometimes duplicate listings, and sometimes you forget to change something, and it's like, oh, that's not. But hopefully, it's so different that it's obvious, right? We're not trying to fool anyone. That's just human error. But some people do it on purpose. Cindy says, so pretty, right? $14, huge chunks. These are big chips, and this is a 16-inch strand. 16-inch strand, KLM 7. Jennifer says, the way I was trained in customer service is that everyone is our customer. Yeah, I don't like that word. Y'all are friends, y'all are supporters. I feel like customer makes it just transactional, right? I mean, everything I guess is transactional, friendships, whatever, but it's impersonal. In a lot of businesses, a lot of people over the years have said that we at Allegory Gallery are not professional enough, because we're not professional because of the way we share things with our customers, or the way that we treat people is different. It's not, we don't keep that wall up. You don't know how many times we've been told to be more professional and stop treating people like like people, pretty much. It's so ridiculous. This is another little nun design piece, KLM 8, $2.50 only. This is a pewter, and it's gold colored, and I think it's an antique gold finish. $2.50. And what did they call this? This is the prairie pod, a little prairie pod. Isn't that cute? And so let's see, this one is about 11 by 13 millimeters, 11 by 13. I didn't give you the sizing of these chips. These chips vary a lot, but generally this one is about 18 millimeters. There's some pretty large chips there. Cindy says, oh yes, purple and yellow. I know, I love purple and yellow. I love it, love it, love it. Suzanne says, one time I ordered African beads, plural, and got one bead because the strand broke. So I was told, not AG. No, we would never. No, no, no. You order a strand, you get a strand, right? Marion says, but you will fix it, William. Yes, I will fix it. I will fix it. Cindy says, I have that one. Nice. Nice. It's a cute little one, right? Make great earrings. Great little earrings, or a charm on a bracelet. It'd be so nice. All right. I'm going to move these down just a little bit because I can see that on my screen I have a little bit of room over here before I have to start putting things away. I like to leave as much out as possible for people who may not have come in it early or maybe coming in later. Everything that's on the deck right now is still available, at least in quantity of one. All right. At least in the quantity of one. Oops, let me do this too. Da, 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 da. Oh, here's a shape. I have no idea why these didn't go flying out the door the first time we showed them, and I'm going to show them again. This is Amazonite. These were 28 a strand. I'll take them down to, what can I do? What can I do, y'all, for 20? Let's do 24. I can't go too low. These are a really beautiful shape. They cost us a little bit more, so I can't go too low on them. This is KLM9. This is Amazonite. It's a Russian Amazonite, and it's a faceted kind of lozenge shape. This is such a beautiful shape for like earrings or a bracelet. Like, look at that. It's just really pretty, and the stone quality is beautiful. For $24, this is, I think, an 8-inch strand. It's actually 8.5 inches. And look at the quality of that stone. Look at the color. Just particularly gorgeous. I like this slightly darker transparent one right there too. It's got some of the more, not transparency, translucency, right? Lets that light through. And that is KLM9. We've just sold one of the 7s. Thank you so much. Somebody grabbed that. That's a great price. $14 for those. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Oh, I didn't give you the size on the stones. Jeez. If I ever forget sizes, just if you want us to hear something, let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to check it out for you. Sometimes I get so distracted by how beautiful things are. I tend to do that. I don't know if you do that. I do that. This is about 12 by 15, 16, 17, about 18, 17 to 18 millimeters. 2 strands of those available. Excuse me. KLM 10. Oh, I have it here. Oh, I have these too. In this same shape. This is a stone that I don't really know. I don't know if it's dyed. I'm assuming it's dyed. I don't know for sure. They're calling it green strawberry quartz. So I'm guessing it's dyed, or else it's not maybe actually strawberry quartz. It's something totally different. I don't actually know. But it's green, and I love green. So I'm going to show it to you. Look at how pretty it is. Marianne says, what is 7? I was distracted. You're getting distracted. This is, these are chips of citrine. The one I measured was about 18 millimeters wide. Chips of citrine. Sorry, no, right on the table, just in a pile, you can't really see. Let's spread it out a little bit so you can kind of have an idea what that is. And all this green strawberry quartz. Look how pretty. There's even some like little, I guess sometimes strawberry quartz does have that little kind of flash to it. Isn't that pretty? It's such a kind of bright green, such a vibrant kind of color. Same size as the other ones. This is about an 8-inch strand. The stones, well, let's see, maybe the stones aren't as, or they left one stone off. This is about 12. About 12 by 17, same size stones. This strand, for some reason, is a little bit shorter. It's like they put one extra less stone on there. That sometimes happens too. But it was 28, now 24. Sometimes price-wise, they have to do that too. They try and keep the prices all the same. We've just sold the last of the 3s. Thank you so much. That one is gone. No more. All right. We've just sold 2 of the 5 of these. Thank you so much. We appreciate that too. I need to take a drink. One moment. One moment. Okay. I'm not getting very far today. I should already be well into halfway through. And I'm not. Okay. So I'm going to speed them up, maybe. I keep saying that. And if I miss saying something or giving a size and you need something, let me know. But I am going to try and speed up a little bit. This is Anna Arrier, and she makes beads. I believe Andrew said that they are modeled after Viking beads. I think they do kind of recreations, historical reenactments, I guess is the proper thing. And she makes glass beads that are recreations of other culture beads, and I believe they're Viking beads specifically. Angela Arrier is her name. And you get this whole set of these beads for $20. These are lamp work, all artisan made. And I love these colors, these black, yellow, and orange, white. Love them. I particularly like the kind of melon ones. There's kind of a black melon in there too. So you get the whole set of them. I'm going to put them in the dish so they don't roll all over. They're a little bit more costly, but it's the whole set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13? Yeah, 13 beads for 20 bucks. And artisan lamp work. Marianne says, while Google AI has issues, they say the green color is natural. Okay, good to know. Good to know. It looks natural, like it doesn't look dyed in those, but I wasn't sure. It's pretty. I love it. That's a new stone to me. Green strawberry quartz. Suzanne says, I had to pack up my working area because we're having furniture delivered soon, hopefully, weather permitting. Oh boy. That's probably not an easy process. It wouldn't be easy for me to pack up my working area. I've got too many of those. I'm going to put this one away. We still have at least one of those available, KLM1. And I'm going to put the eye away. Nobody even brought that price down a little bit more for y'all. I can't believe nobody wants the eye of protection lampwork glass that goes so well with the citrine and the amethyst for $18. Okay, y'all. You don't know what you're missing. You don't know what you're missing. These two. No one wants labradorite. I'm going to stop showing labradorite for like a month or maybe 6. No one wants labradorite. Put that away. I don't think anybody got any of those. KLM6, anybody? Nope. Nobody. Okay. I have not sold labradorite probably the last 6 times I've shown it. So I'm going to take a break and just not show it. Not show. It's not in demand right now. Nobody wants it. Everybody probably has too much, right? You all have labradorite. No one wants more. I don't know why. That's pretty. I love labradorite. That's probably why I keep showing it. And I probably will still keep showing it, even though I say I won't. KLM12. Here's another nun design. Let me see how many of these we've got. Marianne says, I do not envy Suzanne. Me either. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 9 of these left. We got a bunch of these. Whoa, come back here. 9 of them. They're $5 each. This is Nun Design, and this is their willow leaf. Willow leaf in the gold color. This is a really pretty design. It's not faint, but it is kind of faint, right? But it's actually really intricate when you look at it. You can see the veins in there and everything, but when you hold it up, it's just a little bit in there. I love it. I love that kind of thing. It has a softness almost to it. Let me show you another one just so you can see. There's another one. I love how they're kind of offset also on here. So $5, you don't get the pair. I'm going to just leave one out so I don't confuse anybody. But $5 each. And there are 9 of them. Let's see here. KLM 8. KLM 8. Okay, 2. Oh, we sold the last of the 8s. Thank you so much. I don't know why. I was like, did I have another 8? I did have another 8. I was like, where did it go? Found it. Big yes is the leaf on both sides. No. Just the one side. It's flat on the other. Good question. Suzanne says, I have the willow leaf, great design and weight. That is another thing too, is they are nice and thin, but they're long Perfect for earrings because they barely weigh anything. Good point, Suzanne. Let's see here. Says again, budget over want. I get it. Believe me, I get it. Until tonight when I win that lottery and Andrew and I have unlimited budget. Won't that be nice? That'll be nice for our artisan friends. We'll go to all the shows, go to all the tables of our friends and just say, well, take it all. We dream of that day. We both have dreams of that day when we can just go to a show, see our artisan friends at a table and just go, I'll just take it all. We'll take it all. Pack it up. You can end your show today. Buy it all. How nice, right? That's the thing. Those are the kind of things that make us happy. Dreaming of doing things like that. You know, being able to make our friends happy and help them out with their businesses. KLM 13, we've got some nice goldstone. Now, if you don't know, goldstone is a human-made stone. It is not natural, but it's dang pretty. And these are these like kind of large rice beads, and they are approximately 7 by 7 by 15 millimeters. And that is a watch keeps getting stuck on the cord, 8-inch strand. 8-inch strand. KLM 14. One of these babies left. This is 26. You know what? I did this the other day because there's only one of this left. This is a big check glass. We don't normally ever take these prices down because if you see this tag, this is the old tag from the 90s or 2000s. It was $26 then. We don't put inflation on this. We're just charging you that. But today I'm going to charge you $24 if somebody wants this. And this is this large green one. Look at how cool that is. Beautiful, chunky, large check glass. These are smooth. Inside, they have layers that make them look bumpy, but it's a smooth texture. And it's this wild kind of thing. So we got that. And that is KLM 14, $24. $24 instead of 26. Ooh, something fell in my head. That's scary. Sometimes we have spiders around here, so every time I feel like something falls in my head or is like touching me, I worry. I don't know. Some of you were not around during the gigantic spider incident that I had. So one time I left my computer bag here at the cottage. And I left it over in Andrew's area. I'm going to put the 7s away. We sold one of those. We still have 4 of those available, those citrine chips. And I left my computer bag over there. And I think I left it over there for a day or two. And then I came to get it and go to work. I think at this time I was still working at the British Car Place. And so I came up. My computer was in it. I needed to grab my computer for work. I'm going to put these away. KLM 9. I don't think anyone grabbed any of those. I don't know why people don't like these. KLM 10. I'm going to put that away as well. So I grabbed my bag and I threw my bag over my shoulder and I left. And I threw my bag in the van. And at this point, the van had boxes of stuff in the back. We were hauling stuff around And this is important because there's a lot of stuff in the back of the van. And I threw my bag. I usually throw it on the passenger seat. And I threw it on the passenger seat. And I turned around to look at something outside. And then I went to jump back up into the van, into my driver's seat. And I let out this weird kind of scream slash growl slash like the fear of God in you scream. It was really a weird noise. I didn't know I could make that noise because I saw a spider that was this big, like no joke, this big, sitting right on the bag that I had just had swung over my shoulder in the van. And I think the thought, not so much seeing the spider, but the thought that that spider could have been like crawling on me instead, freaked me out. We just sold 14. Thank you so much. It was a big, hairy, I think it was a wolf spider. I think they're pretty much harmless to people, but it was one of those big, hairy spiders. And I think they can jump. And that's what was in my head. And it's sitting on my bag. I tried, like, I don't like to kill things. I'm not that person. I'm gonna try and get it out if I can. And so I sorry, I'm trying to talk in price and do things at the same time. Let me see. What can I do? This? So I went to try to remove my bag, and I could not get my bag over the seat because it was stuck. The cord, the handle of the bag that goes over your shoulder, the strap wrapped itself around the armrest of the van. So I couldn't even like gently pick up the bag. I would have had to like jostle it. And all that I'm thinking is if this spider runs or jumps into the back of the van, there is absolutely no way I'm getting to work today because, or maybe ever, I'm not getting back in this van because if it would have jumped into a box, like the best I could possibly do maybe was move a box, but maybe not because some of this stuff was really heavy. The best I could do was like open the doors and hope that it left. And how do you know? How do you know if it ever leaves? Um, so yeah, that was, but what I ended up doing, what I'm trying to remember what I think I ended up getting a piece of paper or a piece of cardboard, and I gently kind of walked it onto the cardboard, and then I took it out and put it onto the ground. And thankfully it didn't jump. It didn't try to attack me in any way. Yeah. So that was my time with the spider. And that was scary. So now I get a little bit nervous when I feel things here, even though I've never ever seen that kind of spider here ever before. These are sunstone. These are little sunstone nuggets. You can see the really pretty flash in some of them. They are, they're not a deluxe quality. I'm not trying to say that they are, but you're gonna miss your pottery classes, Len. I know I keep chit chatting and not showing stuff. These are fun little sunstones though. They're just like little pebbles. It's only $15 for the strand. We had them at 18. We had them at 16. I'm gonna do them at 15 for you. That's as low as I can get on them. They are really pretty, but they're not like that. They're not like the top quality sunstone, but they're nowhere near that price. But if you want something of a different color, like this can kind of blend with the gold stone really well. That'd be really pretty to have a natural stone. Like look at that flash with that flash. That'd be really pretty together. So I like them. I like rustic. And so I like those a lot. Okay. Marion says, I think I too would scream if I wasn't expecting a big hairy spider. I know, right? When we were on the north shore of Oahu, I looked up at the ceiling and there was a big cane spider right above me. Freaked me out, says Rosanna. I don't know what a cane spider is. I don't really have arachnophobia necessarily, but when something is that big and you are not expecting it and it is hairy, um, that is frightening. Okay, I do need to pick up the pace, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna try and shut up about all my stuff that's going on and just show you the beads. These are vintage check glass, y'all. Vintage check glass, KLM 16. I know I really sold these really well, right? They're not the best quality, but I didn't really, they're pretty. As I say, I'm going to move on and I keep going back to that. I feel bad that I said that because they're actually my kind of stone. Like I love creating with rustic stuff like that and adding them to bracelets and stuff. Um, but there you go. That's what she says, Kelly. Oh boy. Um, no comment. These vintage check glass leaves, and they are beautiful. On one side, they have this kind of green blue finish, yellow green finish, and on the other side, they're left plain blue glass. One strand available, $7 only. These beads are approximately 15 by 12. 15 by 12 millimeters. Marion says wolf spiders prefer to hunt other insects and will only bite if there's no other option. Yeah, that's like I've always been told that they're not. Like I wasn't afraid of it because of that. It's just the idea that it could have got lost in the car and then at some point it could be crawling up my leg while I'm driving. Like it's the creepy crawly feeling more than the worried about it being venomous or something. Like I wasn't worried about that. I just don't want to be in the car and have it decide that my leg is its new climbing tree or something, you know? Because then I might kill it accidentally because I'm going to react, right? And I don't like to kill things if I don't have to. Okay, this is a large check glass, vintage check glass strand. And this is kind of that laser stuff, that holographic stuff. This is a really big strand. We don't usually see them this big. This is a 14-inch strand of that holographic check. And they're really cool. $16 for it all. That really should be more. It should probably be more like 24 or so for a strand that big. This is about 8 millimeters by about 10. 8 by 10 millimeter beads. KLM 17. Rosanna says it was as big as my hand. Oh my goodness. Kelly says I couldn't help it. I know. I know, right? I know. Where's my bag for this? Now I'm losing my bags. Oh, there it is. Never mind. I was looking. I had Angela's name written on a slip, and I was looking for that bag. It's right there, right in front of me. Okay. 11 is going away. Let's put 12 away. We did sell at least one of the 12s, I think. Yes, we sold one of the 12s. We still have 8 of those available, though, if you're interested. They're really pretty. Only $5. Okay, I'm going to move. Let's put 13 away, too. What the hey? There they are. Jen says those leaves give a fantasy vibe. I know. That's why I pulled them. That's what the game was, right? Somebody wanted fantasy, or what was the other? There was another term, too. Um, anyway, I was pulling things today that I thought would go well with the things that people requested, and we were hunting for over the last few days. That's what a lot of this came from. KLM 18. Okay, speeding it up. Am I speeding it up? I don't know. Somebody asked for some fruits and veggies. So I found a fruit button, vintage check glass fruit button. These are only $3. We're going to get vintage check glass fruit button for $3. Here. Look at that. Little pear fruit button. Is that a pear? Looks like a pear. glass shank on the back. Vintage check. This is about 12 by 15 millimeters. Only one of those. We've just sold 16 big leaves. Thank you so much. They are now no longer available. Whimsical, says Marianne. That could be it, right? Whimsical? That was one, I feel like. I don't know. I just had certain things in my head, and I was like, I think people would like this because this is what they were looking for. Or it's close to what they were looking for, or another version of what they were looking for. K L M. Ooh, that's almost a 9. Oh my. All right. This was 32. What can I do? Uh, uh, I'll do 24. This is low. This is low. This is a really nice strand of aquamarine, but the color in this is so special. It's not blue. It's more of a green aqua. This is a vintage strand. This is a green aqua. Look at that. Look at that color. Aquamarine ovals. Look at how pretty the stones are. And look at that beautiful color. Gorgeous aquamarine. Normally, aqua is more of a blue. Sometimes you'll see a dark green, like a moss aqua. This is very different. This is very pretty. Do you have aquamarine like that in your stash? If not, we don't have much of it. We don't see this color very often. This is a 16-inch strand. It is vintage. It was 32 because it's a very special kind of color and strand. These are about 8 by 10 millimeters. I'm bringing it down to 24 today only for y'all. $24, KLM 19. I would like to talk more about that, but I'm resisting the urge to continue talking because I am running out of time. And we had a green the other day, so I pulled that because there was green. Somebody wanted turquoise or turquoise color. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 of these. They are $2 each, and I've got 5 of them available. These are a dyed stone, probably I always want to say hematite, and it's not hematite. Magnesite or the other one. It's one of those two. It's a dyed stone to look like turquoise. I've got 5 of them. Howlite. That's the word. Howlite. I knew it started with an H. This is 26 millimeters approximately by 36 millimeters. We've just sold 19. That one has sold. The price was right for somebody. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's the lowest price we've ever given on that strand, by the way. Tried it once before at 26. Thank you, Kelly. Yes, Howlite. Howlite is it. So somebody asked for turquoise or turquoise color. There's some more of it. I know Andrew did find actual real turquoise yesterday, but I wanted to give that too. Somebody asked for cubic zirconia. The person who asked for it may already have this color. I don't know. We priced these so cheap. It was 35. Last time I had it at 28. I can't go lower than 28 again. But this is cubic zirconia, real cubic zirconia. Susie's here. Says I'm late. Storms tonight and strong winds. No, 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 no. We can't have that. Sorry, I don't agree. I don't agree. Well, I guess we're winning the lottery tonight, so I guess if anything happens, we'll be able to cover it. It'll be fine. Since we're winning over $70 million tonight. Look at this. Beautiful cubic zirconia drops. I'm not gonna, I would say briolets, but they're not pointed at the bottom. They're kind of flattened at the bottom. So I'm just going to call them faceted drops. And look at that color though, that pretty purple. You get one strand of them. The strand is about 3.5 inches long, and the drops are about 8 millimeters. One strand, real cubic zirconia, gorgeous, gorgeous. Was 35, now 28, KLM 21. Marianne's trying to type something, but the autocorrect is getting her. With the goldfish veins, also kintsugi like with the golden veins. Yes, it is also kintsugi like. You're right. Somebody was asking for that too. Okay, this is by Andrew. This is the last one of these I think that didn't sell. This is KLM 22, and it's this owl. So this is one of Andrew's. This is one of Andrew's pendants, his enamel pendants. And then he laser etched his own design of an owl in there. One of these available. This would go so well with some of the amethyst and purple stuff, like those amethyst stars or these cubic zirconia. What's Kim says, I do have that color, but I know someone else who wants them, who I think is watching. Well, they have just sold. These have just sold. Thank you so much. I don't know if that's the person or not. Is there a fake cubic zirconia? No, but some people will tell you it's cubic zirconia and it's really just a pretty glass, you know? It's that kind of stuff. And sometimes when we bring the price so low, people assume that that's what we're doing. That's why I just like to make sure people know it's real cubic zirconia. It's not just a regular crystal, right? Okay. So there's that. Oh, I didn't give you the size on this. This is about 25 millimeter round. Very pretty. That would go good with that eye too. That eye, can you imagine? Ooh, an eye with an owl. Wait a second. See, I shouldn't be doing this. If I get too into this all, where is the eye? And he was this far back. There it is. I bet. Maybe I'm wrong. But ooh, like look if you made that into its own pendant like that. You've got the owl watching over, you've got the eye watching over. Make that into like a a a full focal together, and then use some of that citrine with some of the amethyst. Ooh, that'd be nice. That pendant was KLM5, by the way. That eye, if you want it, $18. Okay. KLM23. Okay, they are gorgeous, even more so in person, says Kim. Those yes, the sorry, the cubic zirconia. Thank you for saying they are amazing. Okay, one moment. This string started untying itself. Let me retie this before I drop beads all over the floor, which I am very prone to doing. Let's see, how many of these do I have? I have 4 of these available. These were 21. I'll do them at 18. Got 4 of them. For those of you who like black spinel in neat shapes, Marianne says, interesting pairing. I think so. I think it'd be fun. Excuse me. Oh, we just sold KLM5, the eye. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Maybe someone liked that idea. Or something like it. This is black spinel, KLM23. Black spinel squares. They're not quite cubes. They're square shaped. I know a square is not technically a 3D thing, but we're going to call them squares. And you get the whole strand of them. Black spinel is such a nice stone. It's such a flashy stone because it's a hard stone. So when you cut it, you get that hard sparkle to it, or hard shine. These are 16-inch strands of the black spinel squares. $18 a strand only. And these are, I think they're 4 millimeters. One, two, they're 3. Huh. They're 3 millimeters. 3 millimeter squares. Marion says, I guess William will be a little late for class. Maybe. I have technically until 5:30 when I have to leave. It may mean the invoicing will not happen, though, until tonight. That's what it's going to mean. Because normally I cut the live off in time and get your invoices out before I go to my class. But I think today your invoices are going to come tonight once I get back from class. Does that just make sense? And then I can spend some more time chatting with y'all. My class starts at 6. Yes, Amanda. And right now it is 5. It takes me approximately 20 minutes, 25 minutes to get there. So as long as I leave by 5:30, I'll be all right. Whoa. Okay. I have more black spinel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Got 10 strands of this. I've actually got a few more, but I'm going to put at least 10 up here at this price because I'm going to give you a really good price today. Normally it's 18. Normally we do 15. I'm going to do 12 for y'all on these. So normally we do these at $18. I'm going to do them for $15. Normally we give you that sale price. I'm just going to do a great price, $12 for y'all today. And that is KLM 24. Beautiful microfaceted black spinel. These are not coated in any way, y'all. That's that hard sparkle you get on a black spinel because it's such a hard stone. It's like a sapphire. Whenever you cut a sapphire, it always gives you that nice sparkle. It's because they're harder stones. And there's metal content in these. They're heavier than other stones too. So black spinel, these are microfaceted rondelles. No, rounds. These are microfaceted rounds. Let me pull one of these out of the hank just to show you so you can see what one alone looks like. Let me give you the size on this too. Size on this is, these are 14-inch strands. And there's one strand, so you can see. And I think these are 2. These are 2 millimeter. 2 millimeter black spinel. For $12 at that quality, great price. The smaller you get on these, the harder they are to make, right? Because normally, not only to drill the holes, but to make them small, a lot of them break. So $12 on that. If anyone's interested, we've got 10 of those at that price. I have more, but I'm not letting more than 10 go at that price. That's too good. Not too good for y'all, but too good to, sell all of them at that. I'm gonna put 15 away. That's the sunstone. I'm gonna put 17 away. That's the holographic one. Nobody wants that one. Huh. That's kind of midnight madness, or I don't know. That's what I was thinking. No one wants the fruit. One of those. KLM 18. That one didn't sell. Nope. Okay. Put that away. And we're going to bring these down. Okay. KLM 25. Okay, someone last night said lapis. I don't know if we pulled the lapis one, but that was one of the requests. And so I have lapis, beautiful lapis rounds. Normally this quality goes for 28. I'll bring them down to 22. How about that? $22. We're cutting into our profits on these ones. $22. Gorgeous, deep, I believe from Afghanistan, lapis. Look at the color. Look how pretty. Really nice quality on these. Deep color, lots of that golden pyrite in there. Highly polished, really nice strands. These are 16-inch strands, and they are 8mm rounds for $22. High quality lapis. Best price we've ever offered on those. 3 of them available. KLM 25. And then back to the garden theme. Marianne says money tree needs to grow. Yeah, Marianne, get that money tree growing. Manifest that money tree. These are these vintage Czech tulips in this kind of opalescent pinky purple color with a gold wash. $6 only, 1 strand available. Look how pretty those are. Look how pretty they would be with that. There's another nice combo right there. And this is that typical tulip shape. It's come back into style recently. These are about 8mm by about 11 or 12mm. It's a really pretty strand. One available, KLM 26. Oh, we just sold one of the 25s. Thank you so much. Marianne said, those are nice tulips, aren't they? $6. What? What? Thank you, Marianne. There. These are a tough sell. I pulled them because every once in a while I believe in the possibilities of somebody buying one. I love them, but they are spikes or drops, and that is for some reason a very tough sale. Mary says I do have a little extra coming July 3rd. Nice, nice. See, you manifested a little bit, right? These are quartz. Quartz drops, lots of them. If you wanted to just put these on a slim chain, these would be great quartz pendants. If you wanted to wire wrap them at the top, you're getting a heck of a lot of little quartz pendants that you could wire wrap real quick. Wire wrap at the top, use them as a pendant for $14. I've never counted them, but there's a lot on this strand. These are 16-inch strands, or well, 15, 16-inch strands. And as you can see, they come in all sizes. Some are longer, some are shorter, some are narrower, some are wider. But look at that. And it's beautiful quartz. Really transparent. Not a lot of inclusions in them. Really great strands. There are 2 of them available. $14 only. Oops, we sold the 26. Thank you so much. I'll take that away. We still have 2 of the 25s available. We still have all of the 24s and all of the 23s. Nobody's into black spinel today. There was a time when black spinel, as soon as you put it up, it would fly off the shelves, so to speak. You couldn't keep black spinel in stock. Marion says there will be bead purchases. LOL. That's funny. Good. Good. Killing 20. That's not too far away for you, Marianne. July 3rd. It's all right. I'm going to put 22 away. Andrew's pendant. $20 only. That's a good deal. That's a lot of work. If you've ever taken an enameling class, you have an idea of how much work that is. There's a lot of work that goes into those. They're enameled multiple times, then they're laser etched. And sometimes the laser doesn't etch the way you want the laser to etch. There's a number of failures that always happen. KLM 28. See, we're almost done. Okay, somebody yesterday wanted iolite, and I said there was a strand of iolite around, and I found it. Let me see what I can do for y'all on this. This was $120. This is a nice strand. At one point, we had it at 92. I'm going to drop it even further for you all. There's only one. $88. $88, lowest I can go. Oh, we sold one of the 27s. See, my belief today was good. Somebody wanted one. This is a beautiful strand of iolite. Look at the translucency and transparency in some of these stones, but yet still have that beautiful, that inky color that you get from iolite, that kind of purpley blue. They are faceted. They're kind of a simple cut and faceted. But this is a vintage strand. There is only one. The strand itself, it's a high quality strand. It is a 15-inch strand. Beautiful iolite, only $88, down from $120. Marianne is drooling, as you should be. It is gorgeous. Oh, we just sold the other 27 and one of the 24s. Thank you so much. Drooling, anybody? Look at that. I'm drooling a little bit, and I technically own it. Well, Andrew owns it. That's his. That's his strand. But last chance at that. It'll probably be reabsorbed into his collection. $88. KLM 28. One left. Well, we only had one. Even we can't afford to buy a lot of stone strands that are like that, at that quality. Even though we're offering them much cheaper than they should be offered. Oh, well. Right. Next up, $5. We go from 120 down to 88. Next one, $5. You get the real gamut here at Allegory Gallery, right? These are vintage check. They're such a cool one. They're kind of like a faceted lantern shape. I don't know if there's a real name for this. I'm sure there's a real name for this shape. They've got a name for everything in the check glass, but that's what it is. It's kind of a lime green, limey color. It's got a little bit of an AB finish on those facets, it looks like. Maybe all around, but especially on those facets. One strand available. Each bead is approximately 9 millimeters by 11. Odd size, 9 by 11. One available. That is the old price, by the way, back in the 90s or 2000s when they were made. Vintage strand, one available. Excuse me. Oh, somebody tried to grab 27 again. Sorry. This is the first time ever. I need to get this off of here. I really almost can't believe I've sold both of these strands, because normally no one wants those drops like that. But they are sold out. Sorry. We've just sold 29. Thank you so much. That's the green check glass. Appreciate you. Marion says, Andrew does share a fair amount or searches out alternatives for us. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Look at these. Look at these. Look at these. I would love, like, look at that together. Oh, look at that. Doesn't that just, ooh, that like ups the lux factor. I don't know why, but that together, stunning. Okay. All right. Anyway, there you go. Look at me getting distracted again. KLM 30. Last one of the night. Did I make it special? It's special in its own way. But we had something that was like, it wasn't magical, but it was something. I forget what the thing was. Mystical, magical, I can't remember. But these are fun. These are flowers, check glass, vintage check glass flowers they're clear with an AB finish. Look how pretty they are. They're kind of fairy tale like, right? Like they're going to transport you into that fairy tale world. KLM 30, $7 a strand. You get a lot of these. You can either call them a drop or a button, right? They're button shape. Kim says that yellow might be a turbine bead. That would make sense. I could see that. See their little buttons? Use them as dangles on earrings, drop them from chain. I love when they take like one of these and drop it from a chain and drop multiple of them at chains at different lengths and make them into an earring. I like making those kind of earrings. And then you've got these dangling at different lengths, showing off their little flashiness. These strands are 8-inch strands. That's a ton of little buttons packed in there. They are about 5 millimeters by about 8. 5 by 8 millimeters. They could be also ice flowers, as Marion, right? They could also be used as tiny little closures if you wanted to. It might be too tiny, I don't know. But you could use them for a little loop closure, right? Make a little loop, seed beaded loop, put that through the loop, use it as a closure. So there you go, KLM 30. Giant strands of little buttons. The littleness makes them look like giant strands. They've got a lot on there, $7. Multiple strands available. I put an M on there because there's multiple. I'm not going to count them all out. Suzanne says, such beauties this afternoon. Thank you, Suzanne. Trying to pull some fun stuff for y'all. Hopefully you liked it. And with that, I am going to go. I'm probably going to make this spreadsheet real quick since I have these things right in front of me, and then I'll invoice later tonight from home. So if you don't get your invoices here this afternoon, that goes for those of you who may have emailed us a little bit earlier today or late last night. I'm going to work on all that when I sit down at the computer tonight. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. I would sit and chat with you even more. Susan says, just want to thank everyone for their kind words. Yes, Susan, our thoughts are with you. And if you need anything, you know to let us know if there's anything we can do to help you. Please, please, please let us know. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. And we'll see you all back here tomorrow for what is probably the last live of the week at 7:30 p.m.